Trina, this call.
Am I audible now?
Trina, could you just say something?
Yeah. Am I
Okay.
audible now?
Yeah, you're audible now. Thank you. Can you hear us? Any of you are able to hear us?
Yes.
Will anyone on our call please confirm if they're able to hear us?
Malvika, there's a lot of echo, so I can't hear you properly.
Trina, Varnika, could you just confirm?
Yes, I can hear you now. It's
Are you able to hear us?
yes.
Great. Okay. Very good, Rachel. Okay. Thank you.
Hi, can you guys please tell me if my background is okay? Is it looking inverted or is it coming across fine?
Hi, Sheena, your background is fine.
Great, thank you, Subi.
So this is a second roadshow. First roadshow was organized in August. As you all know, lawyer that India has progressed in and not just during the learning on the with this one for new points number 3. Is this price has been almost doubled during the last 9 decades. So the director of the source is established and you have to guess it coming from the you have to the recent reforms of real life before that nothing major power then the smart media, the Sarah media, and so on, there's a totally lot of more than 50 during the last 11 years. So the the rankings, when the recent rankings were that we were at 63. So every show, everywhere we can when making a sheet, the job of the BBC and the sheet like this. And the sheet is evolved. Then if you have one, and actually more personal to be deposited happy level. So that growing business is happy. So today we will discuss some of the recent developments and would like to know from you also the reforms required and the ground level impacting on the issues. Challenges that you are facing when running your practice. So before we start, now I have request firstly for the question. Let's go first. So we are going to definitely who Dr. Manish Jindal, computer and CEO, the work with and on the president of Million Congress. would like to request,
Very good morning, friends. Very good morning, friends. It's my duty to welcome today's gathering as well as our chief guest, Ma'am Manmeet Kaur Nanda, IAS, Joint Secretary, Department of Industrial Promotion and Investment Promotion. And she's heading Invest India as well as Startup India and many other departments. And we are very happy to have her here. Welcome, ma'am, at Chandigarh office. With her, we have a team of Invest India, Mr. Utsav Negi, Assistant Vice President, Ms. Sheena Violet, Manager, and Mr. Venkatesh Sahni, Associate from Invest India. Ms. Agni Jasti, Assistant Manager, and Ms. Varnika Upmanyu. You are all welcome from Invest India. With us, we have from Mentrax, Mr. Dr. Manish Chandal, who is founder and CEO. Shri Shiv Sunit Chukla, Chief Business Officer from Virtuso NetSoft Private Limited. Mr. Sumit Khajuria, Business Manager, Tally Solutions. And my colleague, Mr. Survit Khanna ji, co-chair Chandigarh chapter, Dr. S.P. Sharma, our chief economist from head office, my eminent personalities from different parts of industry, and the part of investment potential business people, eminent friends. We are welcome here to you on the UNNATI India Opportunity Series program. This is our second domestic program, which is happening with the PhD Chamber. And earlier, ma'am has addressed this event at Delhi. And this is the second which we are doing it at Chandigarh. You know, domestic investment, India is a crucial driver of economic growth and development. And as the world's fifth largest economy, India offers a wealth of opportunities for domestic investors to capitalize on its vast market potential. Investing in India allows individuals and businesses to tap into various sectors such as manufacturing, infrastructure, technology, healthcare, and focusing renewable energy. The government's initiative have further created a favorable investment climate by promoting ease of doing business and attracting foreign direct investment. One of the key advantages of domestic investment in India is the familiarity with local market dynamics, cultural enhancement, and regulatory framework. This provides investors with a competitive edge in identifying lucrative opportunities and establishing successful ventures. Moreover, investing domestically contributes to job creation, skill development, and overall social economic progress. By supporting local industries and business through investments, individuals can actively participate in shaping the nation's growth trajectory. The Indian government has taken significant initiatives to encourage domestic investment in the country. These initiatives aims to boost economic growth, create job opportunities, and attract both local and foreign investments. And attracting investment in service like sectors like electronics, automobiles, textile, and more, where job creation is more focused, is the government's aim nowadays. Invest India is providing support and guidance to domestic investors and acting as a single point of contact for investors looking to set up businesses in India by offering information on policies, regulations, incentives, and facilitating necessary approvals. Though these initiatives, the Indian government aims to attract both domestic and foreign investments while fostering entrepreneurship and innovations. The focus on domestic investment not only strengthen the economy but also promote self-reliance and sustainability growth for India's future. Ma'am, here I would like to add from Punjab state side my few suggestions. You know, we are landlocked and we are at the one corner of the country, and presently we don't have any access to export from here. India government need to evaluate the strength and their concerns by virtue of their locations, advantages and disadvantages of the different states. Till the time VAT was in force, northern states like Punjab are doing equally good. Because of certain benefits like freight equalization, benefits of by given by states were the giving edge and the normality to many other states which are at the moment very badly affected. After GST regime, we are facing tough times to compete and feeling the heat of freight logistic issues as we have to bring the raw material all the way from ports and different parts of the country and process here and again to take this material for export or to supply the other states which are far, far away. Sometimes we have to cover 2,000-kilometer distance from Punjab while bringing the material and supplying the material. So this is the biggest challenge at the moment. You know, Punjabis, ma'am is also Punjabi, and we are very hardworking people and we can do wonders in any field. So another opportunity which we were enjoying and having some hopes was the ICP border, Wagah border, Utari border, where we started some business. And government has created a lot of infrastructure there. Till 2018, the business was growing, though there was a negative list of many products, but there were hopes and the business was growing in many folds. But unfortunately, that also stopped. So my request is government should evaluate the industry at different states, like how India can be a total manufacturing hub all over, and like sitting in Punjab, what challenges we are facing as compared to Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Maharashtra in the shape of freight or logistic issues. We should be having some benefits in the freight matter, which can give us some leverage and we can be at a win-win situation with the other states. So same situation is Himachal now. Himachal's industry is also shifting because of this. So we need to look into those states which are more than, we can have a slab system at the India level, 1,000 kilometer, 2,000 kilometer, 3,000 kilometer distance from the ports can be a slab system in the policy where some freight benefits can be given to the state. This is my request. With this, thank you very much and welcome to everyone.
Thank you, David, for providing the insights about your concern for the promotion of traffic percent in the forms required in the business as Punjab. So thank you very much. And before inviting the speakers for their contributions, I would like to request our chair, Shri Investors to present the class at welcome. Invest India, because Invest India is our major partner for this UNNATI India service. So I would like to request our chair, Investors to present the class our representative of Invest India service. And if we can explore that, really much can be offered towards the local journey of India. When we talk in terms of yes, we will we are already going towards India, which is but then we can think of the order. Then you have the most positive to that. This is not the good call. And then our organization just to this. There are hospitals and overall any kind of process that even what is technical component. What is really get the number of we make almost even whether it's almost or the job So, anyway, you feel that the people are working from any kind of guidance, or still you deliver the guidance now really for this is what is required. Though I think our experience, I think, but this is what I have really and organized. For what it is, what is the regulation of that? You would have the following. We just 25 years during our college. Chief business officer, what is she is to make sure that Yes, yes.
Sorry, so let it go. Yeah. I think PPT is okay, fine.
You need the PPT?
No. Yeah. So first of all, many thanks to SP Sharma ji, and I welcome Ms. Manmeet K. Nandana, Joint Secretary, DPIIT, MOCIG, Government of India, and Dr. Munish Jindal, founder and CEO and founding president of Mentors, Mr. Rupinder Singh Sachdeva ji, Chair Punjab Chapter PSDCCR, and Mr. Sumit Khajuria, Business Manager from Tele Solutions, and India Opportunity Assistant Vice President Mr. Lady, and all other members from the India Invest team, and all the people who are here present has taken out their time. I sincerely thankful to them for listening to me. This school, we would like to tell you, a few minutes I will spend on, making you understand what exactly we do. See, Virtuoso Net Soft is also just like, Mr. Dr. Muniz Jindal said, I can correlate with that. It's a movie which was floated by a very young person. We are based in Chandigarh, coming from a very humble background. His father was in Air Force, and then he started at the age of, say, 23 only. And based here in Chandigarh, we created a very big business. It's a huge turnover now. It's in 13 years, this company has become more than 300 plus crore company. One of the very big company, I would say. And it's given employment to more than 100 plus people over here, and has been consistently growing. So we as a company are practically into communication. So I think frankly, even if what we are doing here is practically communicating. As you understand, the communication has completely shifted from the physical means of communication. I think it's a great revolution that has taken place. Almost everybody is informed and everybody has a reach towards information. So we are a company into this particular business. The beauty of this particular business and the opportunity is that sitting here you can communicate or you can actually connect with anybody across the world. So we as a company, that's why we present in almost all countries. We facilitate communication. I'll briefly tell also that how few people can benefit from that. Actually, there are investment opportunities. I can correlate with say the so we are primarily, as I said, into communication. Communication is through telecom communication, wherein we are primarily into SMS business. We are into WhatsApp API providing, RCS business. We are into emailing. We are into complete voice-based solution. We are into complete, digital media communication solution. And this is a very, very huge opportunity. That is very huge opportunity. If there was, I mean, say anybody interested in, going worldwide, sitting here, in Chandigarh itself, you can always come to us. We can let you understand how big this opportunity is. This is currently roughly $70 billion market in the world. It is going to be $100 billion market in the world by within 5 years' time. And you can say the kind of opportunity it has. What we as in India have and why we became so successful is primarily because we really have a lot of talent pool of it. And the good part of the talent pool is naturally because the places that I saw, we are others. I've seen people are interested in a lot of people. I've seen this is a quality about Indians. They are able to figure out the solutions for different problems. and really now. This is where lies our success. Why? Because trust my word, the company could do something which we could. And it is primarily because of this particular reason that people here are, we as a team provide solutions to those problems which others are not able to solve. So this is a very, very good, I would say, opportunity here in India. And anybody who is interested, we are always, welcome. We welcome them. We will guide them. We will, give all the kind of support to for some kind of opportunity in this field. I assure you, frankly, I assure you, it's a big, big business.
Nothing can run, nothing can survive without communication.
So we are in core into communication. So we almost every business, every activity, rather, I would say every activity, every business we have because we are in the core of that particular business. So with this, my thought, I will again request all of you. We are low-based company. Our head office is in city, sector 83, IT Park. We are here only. So anybody looking for any communication support, investment opportunity, wish to know about the internet world market, wish to take any guidance, we will always be there to support the any means with the help of PhD and all. We are ready to do that. So with these thoughts, I really thank all of the people to patiently listen to me, and also the dignitaries on it. Thank you.
So good morning, everyone. And first of all, I would like to thanks PSG Chamber of Commerce and all the dignitaries who are available here in this session. And uh, I will take you through the few of the basic pillars of the business. And first of all, I would like to invite first of all, I would like to tell you that I am from Tally Solutions Private Limited. So Tally is in the business from last 35 years, who is working with the MSME segment from last so many years, hand to hand. And today, the two things on which I am going to talk little are the main basic pillars of the business. So that is finance and inventory. So it is, I think all the businesses who are present here, they would know that how important and how crucial it is to look at the finances, and finance is the main basic thing to drive our business. And so there are three main things which can be taken care in if we are looking at the this finance part. So first is the cash flow management. So how the cash is flowing in our business is with what we need to take care. So Tally is there who can help us to help us to manage our cash. And the second is the cost cutting. So if you are looking at the cost cutting, so every industry, every business is working on this factor, and so everyone wanted to cut the cost so that they will provide the uh, product in most economical way in the industry. And this is how the global business is also working. And the third part is the technology part. So how we are selecting the technology in our business so that it can grow, it can work in a way we want to work. So with the help of Tally, we can select the credit period. We can have the credit period for our sundry debtors and creditors and everyone. We can also choose the credit days, how much days we have to give the credit to our creditors. Then we have to select the credit limit also. So there are so many creditors and there are so many people where we have to give the credit, but we have to specify it that how many credit we have to give to our businesses. Then obviously we can overwrite it with the admin part. So this is the screen where I am showcasing on the Tally, Anna. So this is the part where we can select how the Tally where the options is and how can we enable these things. So we are also available offline after this session. So we can help you over there also to understand these things. So then we have the credit limit. So we can put the credit limit, and according to that we can operate our business. So this is the screen where we can get the message when the outstanding is overdue or overexceeded in the business. Then we can also track the hidden cost which will help us to increase our ROI. So suppose if we have some creditor where we have to give the credit limit of 15 days. And if he is not paying in 30 days or 45 days, obviously it is a loss to our business only. So we can control it by calculating the interest for the rest of the days, where we can control that and we can find out in the reports. So this is a report where we can look at the things that how many interest we are losing and are we have to charge this interest from the customer or not. Then we have the cash projections. Obviously, cash today, whatever we have in our hand, we have to look at the projections also. That in the month of 3 months after today or 6 months after today, do we need more cash to run our business or what are the things? So we can make the provisional transaction in Tally, like salaries or is there any EMIs for loans or other things. So all that also can be managed within the Tally, so that we can get the exact picture that what is the cash and how we can manage the business. So these are the screens which are there. These are the reports which are available there. Then the second part is the inventory part, where we can I will showcase that how we can optimize the inventory part. So there are so many items we are suppose developing in a MSME, and there are some of the items which are fast moving. There are some of the items which are slow moving, and there are some of the items which are moving as per the requirement. So we can find out from the reports that which are the goods and how they are moving, and accordingly we can plan our business. So profit margin and other things are also we can manage from here, and then we can also use the reorder and minimum order levels in the Tally within Tally. So according to your requirement, we can find out that whatever the orders we have to fulfill, and then we have to reorder the raw material or other things. So this is the report where stock summary, where we can look at that gross profit and profit percentage and other things are available. That how we can how we can use these reports to optimize our inventory part also. So this is the screen where we can use the reorder process. Suppose we have something in hand and we have to we do not have to look into the godown to find out that how many order we have to given more to run our business. So we simply go to Tally and we can find out that what is the order to be placed to the vendor to fulfill our requirements. So these are the two features which I want to discuss here, being the MSME is the part of this event. And there are so many features which are available in TelePrime. That you already, most of the people may be aware of that. So we have the GST effective date, we have the multi GSTN part where we can, if any business have multiple GST, so we can manage within one telecom company. And then we have the GST returns, reconciliation and other things, which are also available within TelePrime 3.0. So audit trail is one of the part which is applicable for all the companies who are under MCA. So that was applicable from 1st April 2023. And according to that, all the companies who are under MCA have to use a software which can record each and every transaction. And it also don't have any feature to disable this feature. So this is also available within TelePrime. And nowadays, e-invoicing is compulsory for 5 crore onward turnover, and it is expected to come to 1.5 crore from January or maybe next financial year. So e-invoicing is also available within TelePrime. So for all these features, we just need to have a valid TelePrime TSS, or we have to get this new. So this is all about Tally, and thank you everyone, thank you dignitaries, and thank you everyone. If anyone having any questions, we are available. Back. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now I will tell you about now she is handling various important departments of government of India. Startup India, software business, compliance person, international cooperation, and international cooperation, Asia, global competitiveness index, skill and India. And he was awarded PMO for excellence in public administration in 2016. Then best electoral practices award in 2018. And who also which provided first the trajectory of Indian businesses moving forward to become known and money. It domestic market, but also in international markets. So that India becomes moving critically global charge that our trajectory of in the coming times and your yes, sir.
A very good answer. Now, I must say, very not the diets, all of the delegates of diets, PhD 16, and all the practices that have come given their time and research. We have a lot of India's response to each one to both on the and off the diets. Our responsibility for great numbers that we in the government of India and most of. When I say so, I say it with a lot of pride, a lot of humility. When we started with the we were told in the government that there is something completely impossible. The same reaction was there, and we came up with the electoral photo ID card. It was said at that point of time, the registration wasn't even election. So it's not whatever he's thinking at that is ridiculous. Today, we are a proud country. And yes, what of the general election, we grew correctly. We think the largest population in the world. So when we were all in school, many of you probably are still in college. We were worried about the population country. We can learn about stories about various political movements that have taken place in terms of curbing the movement, etc. We were worried about how going to treat us in many years to come. And today we are very proud of the fact that we are the largest population in the world, the youngest working population in the world, and when you say so, the average median age is 28.3 years. And what the mention is, yes, we need to focus a lot on our youth, not on the skilling. When we talk about the fact that our working population will be the largest, about 65% of our population in another 15 years, the largest any country in the world, even three. And you can imagine any higher, even also economic power because of our population. When I have to believe of my work, and it's like each one of us are responsible for the achievements of the government, I think we need so. We have 1.4 diamonds. We have 1.2 million mobile connections in this entire globe. We are probably the second largest in those very mobile connections. The largest mobile connections. We have this one. We are most globally the largest digital payment economy in the world. Which kind of हमने सोचा नहीं था that people have just senior citizen that even be really online for any kind of activity or you need to Google Pay or Paytm or UPI created an advantage to us. Even the or the searching can give you a last scan code. Let's say you can daily pay. What the business will be resulted in our lives. Then we are responsible. Each one of us is responsible for that other day. The result of the country is not a good risk. And we have issues in terms of the quality of that. One group can be 10 million globally, India, or Indian state. And many people in the audience also were being associated with the startup ecosystem, which we are very proud of. The state that we are the third largest startup. Still, how many costs today? 108 of that would have collaboration anywhere around $300 billion as we speak. We recommend about 80 startups. When we started first, India stated by there were only about less than 300 startups. Today, we have 1.5 startup journey, and it's by API, by the ministry that I represent. There are many startups out there in that ecosystem who probably do not need guidance or big numbers that really good work. Yes, somebody mentioned that some squad issued many startups but success rate globally again so very great. Which because clear rate for startups. So about 48.5%. For us, we are really there. I mean, our failure rate is somewhere around 29%. So the last months, to the successfully better. So we need to be really proud of. Something mentioned about many of the Indians provide innovative solutions to common problems. Yes, we have a population known for having bad solutions. What's the problem? What you see, you have to try practically, physically provide us. We have a population which was known to fight with the responsibility that's why we manage with this regard, with this entrepreneurship spirit. I think we need to be proud of that and take that forward. Many of my colleagues from investing, I will give you presentations that talk of big numbers, which we should be proud of. Today, we are one of the largest growing economies in the world, and we have in the last 10 years increased our rankings exponentially. We moved 7 places in 2014 to the middle class. Really very surprising journey and Japan. In a couple of years, when I say couple of years, it is estimated that by the end of this year or the end of next year, we will definitely surpass Germany to become the fourth class economy, and there is more to surpass Japan in economic terms. We will be very specific. And all this talk about one possible primarily because of the population of the country, the spirit, the no, never to give up kind of spirit, and I think we need to push for. Globally, most economies are not doing well, but India stands out as a ship as Chinese to much. Okay, very there. Truly, this point. And then the number of international level workshops. It is completely globally economies and more that we are countries of we are not planted land. We are a very strong, we become equal. And we are having a state of 100% worldwide 5% growth for economy, which is why we can be proud of these numbers. And there are reasons why we have managed and we are managing to improve our economic trends. We have managed to further India. We received the large amount where we had about $84 billion last year. That is primarily because of the production linked incentive scheme that was announced. That did increase the flow of FDI into certain sectors, and many of the other sectors lost sector. The sectors that received the maximum number of FDI were primarily medical sector, medical devices, 4%. These sectors are primarily of the MSME area, where most MSME flourish and develop. Of course, we are proud of the electronics, software, hardware, or basic of which are skills that are not people, startups are providing solutions globally and nationally. We are also not just providing solutions to the discussion that the world is seeing, but also within India. India is definitely it's a clear many kinds of experimentation, scaling up innovations in various technologies, both in manufacturing and in otherwise. The Honorable Prime Minister and the government is pushing the Amrit Collaboration, and which is the next couple of years to 2047, when India will complete 100 years from independence, the Amrit Collaboration. And the difference is that we will have year GDP of $22 trillion. Today, we are about close to $4 trillion. People have satisfied estimates change. We have to be having a more income of today, we are somewhere around $2,500. In another 25 years, it's estimated that the per capita income of every individual in this country will be close to $20,000. The human capital, we will, as I mentioned, we can be our biggest strength with 65% of the youth as the working population. And this is again possible because of the steps that we have taken not only in the digital physical infrastructure, but in the manufacturing phase, by using number of schemes, the national linked incentive schemes, and the two important area which has recently been announced, which is the IP hardware scheme, which is again very important. It is a lot of computer jobs like they all of Panasonic, physically creating those laptops. All of our phones and offices now they will be physically produced in that. And also the semiconductor area is another area where India needs to it's scaling together because without semiconductors, we know that there is no progress. We need to MSMEs as well to work on our strategy. My team has put together a lot of thoughts for me, but I believe that most presentations that the younger team members from university will talk about. We have also want to mention something that as a state, because you mentioned about states, high cost of logistics. There was a recent report of 2022, which is called, I have read the report's name, it's called and these so they can do at the end of finance cost. We have talked about improving our state index rating. We have improved it. We were not particularly. And this is the word that state performance. That report has studied all sorts of ports. ICDs, seaports, it talks about all ports where import and export states. It is studied only say 2 months of 2022, so it's not old. It has shown increased performance indicators of all more than 15%. So we are putting in place something that is working well. These are questions, it will get better. You all would cover something known as a training production. Digital multimodal kind of plan, where 16 departments of the government, and many state departments will now digitally and all software, any kind of infrastructure projects. And as we speak, more than 100 such projects are already being planned. हम देख रहे हैं बचपन से देख रहा है कि एक समय करती थी उसको फिर खोला जाता था उसके लिए की वहां पे पता चलता था कि टेलीफोन मैनेज ये भी होंगे फिर 5 महीने के बाद फिर कोई समय को दोबारा खोला जाता था पता चलता था कि वाटर लाइन का कुछ कनेक्शन का कोई चेंज है और उसका नहीं होएगा अगर वो यार काम होएगा पानी चला जाए because all infrastructure departments and ministries have been told the major infrastructure programming and planning will have to happen with the help of the real software tool, where most of these lines, whether electricity line, internet switch lines, where they digitally, reliably, all the departments to be able to see both the line which now one of the infrastructure project, for example, the metro line. Or where there is minimum construction, if you have to finalize that kind of project in there, finally, all departments will have to work together at one point. Until the journal will be generated, will they calculate something finally was and increase the speed of infrastructure projects to be financed in this country as a whole, and reduce all this kind of loss to the economy because of this continuously different departments working in cycles and not working together. And I think that is the biggest reform, and we should hope that this will increase our accountability on the economy as a whole, and we will be able to use these tools. I would also also take your time to talk about how India has improved in its ease of doing business. You go and report since 2020 last report at Sigala, we have had a similar process of changing its framework. We have improved our rank by 79 points, something that we have not achieved in the last couple of years. And this I think is important because globally there are investor markets they don't think that it's a very business strategy for our country. So that is very job was important. But besides that, even when that was the target, government of India started to do something known as business reform action, which is known as ERAP. They were not people will be last time. Now, different state governments or union territories for business reforms. There are about 15 to 17 areas of reforms that are funded. For example, the administration unit. Businesses के लिए एक और ऑर्डर्स प्रोड्यूस करना है। एरियाज को या इनिशिएटिव्स को ऑनलाइन बना सकते हैं ताकि आम जनता को, आम आदमी को, आम businesses को हमारा गवर्नमेंट की चक्कर नहीं करते हो। और लेकिन मेरा also started since 2016. We have finished 6 rounds of these businesses. These programs are taking place. You have all state governments. We have also done something known as we are look at government departments. We are seeing कि आम आदमी को as a business entity, as an MSME आपको बहुत सारी harassment होती है government departments से। और उस कौन से harassment है, कौन से requirements हैं जिसको हम completely simplify कर सकते हैं, visualize कर सकते हैं, उनको completely remove कर सकते हैं, ताकि जरूरत नहीं वो लॉ बनाना हमारे देश में। और आज के टाइम में बिजनेस एक्टिविटीज का स्टार्ट करने का तरीका अलग हो गया है। क्या रिक्वायरमेंट्स कर सकते हैं 41,000 such appliances are either being certified digitalized or remote. Other state governments और government of India ने अब तक 3,400 ऐसे criminal provisions हैं अपने state laws से और rules से जिनको completely decriminalize किया। जब वो decriminalize करते हो उसका मतलब ये है कि minor offenses पता कि अगर एक business entity को एक particular state में submit करना होगा तो अगर state में नहीं submit करते law प्रोवाइड की आपको किसी नहीं हो सकता। आपकी इंस्पेक्शन के तहत ऐसी कई रिक्वायरमेंट्स थी कि अगर आप अपने also bypass भी करते हैं मतलब 3 या 4 महीने में तो भी आपको फैक्ट्री इंस्पेक्टर आके आपके ऊपर एक रिमेंडर कर सकता है। Where to giving a director or owner imprisonment for almost 6 months to 1 year. These are minor issues. Somebody will not who said that because of not bypassing factory requirements. So we try to categorize offenses which were administrative, minor, consequences which of course can lead to death or grievous injury work. पूरे प्रोसेस को भारत सरकार ने एक जन विश्वास के बनाने से इस मानव ऑफेंसेस को भी टोवे करके निकाला गया है। And based on that, the legislative machinery was put into place that those minor offenses के आपको जेल की चुनाव में नहीं जाना पड़ता, वोट के लिए नहीं मानना पड़ता। It can be done through an administrative process or we realize people realizing इसकी जरूरत है। कोई भी बिजनेस एंटिटी जैसे कोई भी चीज नहीं करना चाहता है जिसकी वजह से अगर उनको कोई फायदे करके आप 1000 खड़े कर दें जीएसटी के लिए 1000 खड़े कर दें इंडस्ट्री डिपार्टमेंट के लिए तो हमारा कुछ चार्जेस देर चलाते हैं नहीं पता चलता है काफी इंसान में आपकी जाएगा गवर्नमेंट ने भी अपनी चीजों को इतना कॉम्प्लिकेट करके रखा हुआ है कि आप नहीं कर पा रहे तो बहुत सारे कंसेप्ट है फाइनल सिस्टम रिमूव justice was very we need to get a lot of stakeholders, including business entities, जिनके साथ आप जैसे लोगों ने discussions की, because great number of computational industries like PhD, CCCI, and many stakeholder associations के साथ बात करने के बाद सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट कहा था मिनिस्ट्रियल डिपार्टमेंट्स को कन्विंस करना ये सब चीजें जरूरी नहीं है और ये जब इसका बिल लास्ट ईयर स्टार्ट करते हैं ऑलरेडी पार्लियामेंट में पास हो गया है in August 2023 जिसके तहत almost 42 different acts that the ministries के almost 183 provisions को completely revised किया गया है और इसके तहत So इतनी प्रेशर है सरकार के पास to make sure that there is minimum government and maximum governance everywhere. And I hope that discussions like this, like the roundtable, are only small steps to reach out to people like to. Whenever what the government has done, I also expect there is a lot of work that still needs to be done. There are a lot of pain points that we may be needing. There are a lot of things that we as government departments need to know, need to understand. And these are just communications and conversations which are not. Let me give you all of this, but I thank you for giving me your time.
So now our schemes are adopted by the various countries so that those countries are not progressing in their countries. So the matter of fact that for very country of the top segment after which is meetings and you have to put in the financial aspects and the institutional point of various issues like the definition of the offenses, minor offenses. Various laws are happening and we look forward that the economy will become more and more quickly. If you are already more and more around India, so many aspects like we are doing economy, the basic economy, and we are looking for aspects like here. Post-corona period, is mentioned by that. Will be more than 6%. More than if you go with the numbers in the next 5 years, more than 6.5% in the next 5 years. And the number will grow at around 2. So we are much confident China. Not changing numbers. So slow growth is projected by around somewhere between 24%, but we will grow at around 5% in the export activity. So we are moving ahead with more and more reforms and not only look at the India government, but by the international organizations like that India is really the growth engine of world economy and we contribute 50% in the global production. Thank you very much for all these food and reforms undertaken during the last 20 years. So if you can take some questions before the technical recognition. So we request the participants
This conversation is current, but there are many reforms that you corporate do or PhD, you should stick with your members. If you have any other issues that you would require us to take up as part of the wishes of 2.0, we will be happy to start that conversation.
we will continue with our suggestions and so we request that it's we can come up with we request that you should be very deep
And that report that I was talking about, my previous release study on statistics 2022. So it's on the project, you must go through it. Should be reported synopsis, but you get a copy information.
yes.
So your organization would be one for what's your organization you want to be as a stakeholder? We're still doing most of it. And we have really favorite topics. Favorite topics. That's something that's environment बोलना चाहते हैं They will develop program issues, then realize issues, then consumer affairs को ज़्यादातर ये ऑलरेडी से काम है स्पेसिफिक उनके एड्स में उनके स्पेसिफिक जो उनको लगता है ज़्यादा हरासमेंट होते हैं लीगल मेथोडोलॉजी का एरिया में most businesses in MSME they will have some issues please refer to a specific section का specific वाला application here mention why you feel that it requires a change you will be happy to communicate. Many programmers I just tell you that during the COVID time when we were all stuck in our houses, we wanted million people to start see the innovative process from one nation, one Africa. But yet, program that now provides credit from a social charity is not. This is a digital which means that what we have the research or government is how wide but just you can't say you are not right? They are made communicated started being our house. This is not till 2021. So there are things that have happened which we as a whole population of our country 100 million bank accounts have been created because of the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. और बच्चों इन्होंने मुझे बोला है मुझे अवार्ड मिला है और 2016 में jan dhan हम स्कूल में के लिए मिला and it was more different countries I worked in very big years of involved countries so the main record of the was you have opened a bank account in the previous and that उसका है एक बोला शिक्षा का शायद ₹1,00,000 Middle class the last 5 years. And people when say there have been improvements in their health sectors, in their education, the standard of living. The fastest growth has happened in the reservation. 30,000 convenient houses have been built under the Pradhan Mantri. It belongs to 75% of them belong to SC over minority. And 7% every 10 houses are now either jointly or mother-in-law or solely mother. There will be one speaks to Mars, but there are people still in this country openly dedicated. Now there is so much arrive, but people with dimensional problems when you go on without the demonstration. Can you just say that I can use your personal energy provider the way old age pension? Many of times in many of us, the government use our personal relationships and we get official work done. This is the way we have, but it's not going to be a lot of change. There is a lot of change that has happened, a lot of work has happened. Population, only see that in the linear details. I don't have to push my personal data.
Your objection, go to the actual risk, your objection. Whatever the common sense of person and conflict there, we are ready to go to the next one. And for state level and around. It's like a snow.
So can you have specific recommendations on how to improve this? There is
Communication. Visual. Should be.
Would it be
Always in right.
can it be a virtual face-to-face assessment? No. You want to go so you know. Government is specifically mentioning that it's not online, but of course, what can I do is say they do it over actions. At least some point. The another single window is a proposal. We have institutionalized one hour every day for online classes. So after that, computer में face to face बात करेगा. Without my face, you'll be able to see my face, I have to see my face. That's what now is the new assessment of all face to face interaction that the government is providing.
There is no. You are not very good. You know, software there is simple quality. You are submitting online as per your requirement. You can not able to understand the definition of whatever. At least you should know what they are for. Option. If I think that data. This is the law. Please specifically let us know the gap. We are ready to do the central interest. You are not understanding and you are applicable. Go to the dashboard and see. You can give an already account. Yes, you didn't give up. So it's still an online appointment system that you never have to log in and focus on that is sort of work.
Thank you.
This is the
protein sectors, which include the ones that you mentioned. So actually, let's say the facility to operate, the full licensing, the labor market, etc. We will survey is we are not a survey. We are not providing post this section is primarily protein with that. So we will be coming with board for every state and duty. And then for these early areas, this is your cost that is structured. You will cost based by ideas like I want to stick there. And then we will give that way to reduce it. The option will be there, situation. How we can reform, reduce it. For example, if I could tell you the cheese of the really the environment and person not responsible for everything. But sometimes if you are right for you will have to treat that or that's similar and they are much very about your display any other because there are one which are people that need to other economic figures. So we are not necessarily here. We are surveying necessarily entities and business is that we will publish the report very shortly, say what we can if there are situations of how we can improve their self, reduce the cost of doing business, to conduct another survey in the month of February next year, and conduct another report by March or June next year. And then, so maybe, so understanding would be how to improve the cost of these themselves, not comparing this cost when each one is making it, everyone has been made aware. Three points there are out there 3 points older people parents will continuously do the survey. These are number of areas that will be visiting. Nobody will be able to calculate this aspect of understanding that there is a requirement to treat businesses properly, reduce the net compliance burden, reduce the cost of wages. So let me take all these things. Let's I'm thinking as an industry of studies or analysis, etc. My research change was in a lot. My research of Korea and Australia, yes, there's also wants to apply this. Now, But in time, the school, and we gave migrant worker. Because they want free, what it will do. Now, international wonders of the defending the border. We are something can fight. In all the war, and in return, what we get is zero opportunity, no much industry. Small industry can supply only to the big industry. I hope that putting India, they are not a school. But this is information given to the army governments. That is, the plan can be elected. We will give us some time. Please, really first look at the time. So we decide, I will just explain the direction. Document. I am here as president of the Legal University. I have explored all of them. आपका संतुलन ये अच्छी बात है आपने ये सारी अगर प्रेगनेंट और स्टडी का पास ऐसा 300 धन्यवाद उसके बाद उसको कैलोरी कर दिया पूरा बढ़ाया कर दिया कोई पोस्ट मशीनिंग ऑपरेशन कर उसका एक आइटम के लिए 5-6 रिसर्च और एक रिसर्च का 3 लाख होगी सच में मेरी गवर्नमेंट प्रैक्टिकल और स्पेसिफिक है तो मनी है तो इसका में ये आपने सबको अभी में 6 महीने का टाइम है 6 महीने का टाइम माइक्रो का है 9 महीने का टाइम स्मॉल का है और मीडियम का भी है abnormal sensitivity I have also sensitive on the last 20 years from the years बहुत अच्छी बात है ये हम लोगों की ही है अभी आपने कर दिया अब और क्या है क्या your information दिए गए और आपके ही डिपार्टमेंट है उसका स्कीम है और सेक्रेटरी उनका सेंटर तो इसलिए ये बड़ी अच्छी योजना के हाथ में है ना मैंने आपको अगर छोटे-छोटे यूनिट है भाई तो और मैंने शॉप में कर दिया कोई ना खरीदी जाता सब प्रोविजन बहुत हैवी है एक तो वो प्रोविजन जो इंक्रीजिंग में वाला पर्सन पड़ा नहीं है वो भी प्रोविजन इसका जो एक ऑब्जर्वेशन है टीचर की कोई पार्टिकुलर नॉट सिर्फ सेंसर स्टेटमेंट का सर्वेक्षण होती है तो क्या आप संजीव जी ने आप लोग के एसोसिएशन से सारा सर्वेक्षण करके उस समय ये बात आपको बोली गई थी और मिनिस्ट्री के बाद आपको जुआ है तो अलग डिपार्टमेंट लेकिन ये जो भी स्पेसिफिक है दिस इज व्हाट वी वुड वांट there should be specific issues that have been brought up. I will take it up with the लेकिन मैंने बात की पीएलएस कोऑपरेशन बहुत अच्छी है बहुत बढ़िया कोऑपरेशन they have to like problems वो फिर जाते हैं आप अगला सब ये करना है तो ऐसे ठीक करो वो पढ़ने के लिए मुश्किल लगा है ये धर्म आपका इन अपने सैंपल से टेस्टिंग के लिए कंट्रोल का नॉलेज इंदौर रेलवे जाना तब यहाँ पर इंडियन के लोग है रॉयल भी है वो भी है हमारे ऐसा है वहाँ पर सेकंड क्लास के सो मुझे आपका पता है किस पे लगी और यार के बाद कन्या को पता नहीं है हमने आज आपके लिए सर्टिफिकेट भेजी है कि सैलरी मेरे कंपल्स किया गया सर फाइनेंस और ये सभी आपको तो भी मेरे सही मैं वो टेस्ट है वो लेके आने दिया गया टेस्ट करेंगे पहले मेरा कोर्स है उसके बाद आप लोग कर कीजिए और एक महीने का इनमें अगर वाले अगर चीजें
Thank you, Mr. Sharma. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Utsav Negi. I'm part of the Invest India team, and I look after investments at Invest India. So, Invest India is the national investment promotion and facilitation agency of India that works with both domestic and foreign companies and help them invest and expand in India. So, in the next 7 minutes, I'll be talking about the Indian economy. I'll be talking about a few initiatives that the government has taken for the Indian industry. Then I'll be talking about the services that Invest India offers to the companies. So as on date, India is a $3.75 trillion economy. Of this 3.75 trillion, the first trillion came in the first 60 years of our independence. The second trillion came in the next 7 years, and the third trillion came in the next 5 years. So you can see the progression. Since our independence, our GDP has grown over 100 times and our exports have increased over 600 times. Currently, we are the 5th largest economy in the world, and soon by 2027, we are expected to become the 3rd largest. Between now and 2047, India on an average will add $3.2 billion to its GDP on a daily basis. At the center of this economic growth is the Indian consumer, who is both young and aspirational. 65% of our population is below the age of 35 years on date. Our average age is less than 30. And for the next 30 years, a large part of our population will remain below the age of 30. This population has access to capital and technology. Our per capita income has doubled in the last 8 years, giving access to capital to this young and aspirational India. In terms of technology, like ma'am mentioned, we are number 1 in mobile internet data usage. We have amongst the lowest data costs in the world, and almost half of all the real-time digital payments that happen world over happen in India thanks to UPI. This consumption pattern is expected only to grow in the foreseeable future because our per capita income is expected to grow 9 times in the next 25 years. So until now, we have discussed about the Indian economy and the Indian consumer. Now I'll briefly talk about a few initiatives that the government has taken for the Indian industry. So GST has been the largest indirect tax reform in independent India. In terms of manufacturing, government has launched a lot of initiatives to boost manufacturing. First is lowering the corporate tax rate, introducing the phased manufacturing program, bonded warehouse, and the production link incentive schemes scheme. So under this PLI scheme, an incentive of $26 billion has been earmarked for 14 industries. And this is across conventional sectors such as steel and new age sectors such as renewables and drone manufacturing. Separately, $10 billion of incentives has been earmarked to boost semiconductor manufacturing in our country. We have one of the most liberal FDI regimes in the world. Almost 90% of our FDI comes in through the open route. To boost exports, government has undertaken a lot of initiatives such as the Roadshow and bonded warehouse. To boost and incentivize and expedite investments into the country, the government has launched production development cells in 29 central ministries. And Invest India works closely with all these 29 ministries as part of these production development cells. All this has helped making the business environment in India better. And one of such initiatives is the National Single Window System, on which my colleague Agni will present shortly. This is an interesting slide that shows why it is favorable to do business in India at the moment. In this slide, we have compared Indian subsidiaries of global foreign companies on 3 parameters. First is valuation, growth, and margins. And in all the 3 parameters, the Indian subsidiaries of these global foreign majors have surpassed their foreign parent. So India is taking a leadership position in multiple things. In terms of sustainability, we have already committed to become net zero by 2070. We plan to source 50% of our energy requirements through renewables by 2030. We are already a leader in digital public infrastructure, with almost the entire population having a digital identity through Aadhaar. We are number 1 in fintech adoption rate, and like I mentioned earlier, almost half of all the real-time digital payments that happen globally happen in India. We have an extremely robust startup ecosystem. Just 10 years ago, at the start of 2013, we had only 3 unicorns. And as we speak, and like ma'am also mentioned, we have more than 100 unicorns in India right now. All this has been possible because of contribution from various stakeholders, including the Indian companies. We at Invest India have a dedicated team that works with the Indian companies across their investment journey. Some of the services that we offer include market research. If you want to set up a new business in any part of in any part of the country, advisory on policy, site selection, schemes, initiatives of government, both state and center. So these are services that Invest India offers to companies, both domestic and foreign companies. We also have a dedicated portal for Indian companies called the Atmanirbhar Niveshak Mitra portal. On this, you can find information on policies, incentives, any approval, licenses, clearance, any applicable taxes, and updates by the central and the state government. I would urge you to have a look at this portal after this session. This brings me to the end of my presentation. I have provided my contact details and the contact details of my colleague Malvika, who's present here with me. We'll be happy to answer any questions post this session. We'll be here after this session until 2 o'clock. So happy to answer any questions if you have. Over to you, Sharmaji. Thank you.
Moving that.
Yeah.
I would like to provide of our presentation the focus sectors of the legal, industrial areas, and best practices.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible, Sheena. Are you able to see the presentation?
Yeah, I get to see the open presentation. I can see the folder for now. So, a very good afternoon to all the participants and the esteemed guest of honor, Ms. Manmeet Nanda ma'am, Joint Secretary DPIIT, and all the other organizations present there, as well as PhD CCI and my Invest India colleagues. Today, I'll be speaking on India Industrial Land Bank, or ILB, as a tool for scouting industrial land across the country for the investors. Just give me a moment. Sorry, Malvika, I'm not able to see
Yeah.
the PPT. Can you?
Are you able to see the screen now?
Yeah, I can see the screen. It's just the folder that I am able to, not the open PPT. So, as the PPT is opening, I'll, before jumping on to India Industrial Land Bank, as Utsav, my colleague, has just now presented a macro picture of the industry or how India is performing overall. I would just like to touch upon a few points of Chandigarh as an industry and what has in its ecosystem that is fostering growth. So, as we all know, Chandigarh is India's first planned city, and its strategic location near Punjab and Haryana acts as a gateway for these states to foster more trade and business. Its well-developed road network, the railway connectivity, and international airport acts as a robust infrastructure, making it an opportune destination for investors. So, apart from that, Chandigarh's modernistic architecture and green spaces offer a unique proposition for tourism. Chandigarh's strength sectors can be identified as pharmaceutical, education, and renewable energy. With its strategic location and skilled workforce, Chandigarh can further develop as an IT hub and IT and services hub. It has an opportunity to establish itself as a regional retail and trade hub, catering to Punjab, Haryana, and Himachal Pradesh. So now that we are on the subject of industry, I would now like to introduce one of the key initiatives of DPIIT to promote industrialization in the country, that is India Industrial Land Bank. It is a centralized GIS-based platform by DPIIT and supported by Invest India and BISAC as the technical partner, with industrial parks across country mapped onto one common platform. So we have integrated with the GIS system of all the states and UTs who have their land banks already there on their systems. But for the states and UTs who do not have an active GIS land banks, what we do is we ask for data in Excel formats and offline so that we can integrate it for them. So that's how we have been able to integrate around 35 states and UTs. Only West Bengal is remaining now. We have integrated now 35 states and UTs and its industrial land data onto the platform. What our aim is to now sanitize that data and keep it updated at all times so that investors can look at it and form an informed decision about its viability for setting up an industry. So it provides an investor an information regarding the internal infrastructure, business support services, and environmental and sustainability factors of an industrial park and plot level details as well. This supports investors in making informed decisions for their preferred destination and investments sitting far away. So in case of world crisis, or in case of global crisis, like what we witnessed during the COVID era, this is an important tool for investors to know from remote areas what they can see and how they can pick up an investment destination which is suitable to them as per the connectivity, as per the raw materials available, and other factors that are essential for picking up an industrial area. So to strengthen the platform, we have industrial land of central ministries and departments also integrated on the platform, and we are working with them so that their plot level details now can also be integrated. Till now, we have plot level details of around 6 central ministries and departments, but we are working with more. And coming on to Chandigarh, due to its land size, it has only few industrial areas, out of which 4 industrial areas are integrated with park level details. Out of that, 3 industrial areas are with plot level details. The 3 industrial areas with plot level details are identified as industrial area 1, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And the Rajiv Gandhi Chandigarh Technology Park has also been added with, sector as IT, ITS, but it only has park level details for now. So moving on, one of the concurring activity that is on the next slide, industrial park rating system that we have. To augment the IILB or the India Industrial Land Bank, we have a concurrent activity called as Industrial Park Rating System with the aim to enhance industrial infrastructure, competitiveness, and support policy development for states and UTs to enable more industrialization across the country. So the rating system supports the qualitative as well as quantitative measurement of industrial parks across 4 main pillars, that is internal infrastructure, external infrastructure, business support services, and environmental safety. In our latest edition of Industrial Park Rating System 2.0, which was concluded on 5th October 2021, Chandigarh had nominated 1 industrial park, that is Rajiv Gandhi Technological Park, but it could not provide further details onto it, and that is why in terms of 3 categories that these rating had led to, that were leaders, challengers, and aspirers, it was rated as an aspirer. But to further understand what are the key challenges faced by the states and UTs, or what are the best practices that they can adopt, we had 25 workshops that were conducted from the month of November 22 to April 23. With the support of ADB and of course DPIT with Invest India to conduct the IPRS 2.0 gap assessment workshop. So for Chandigarh, it was also conducted, and we had shared various insights into what are the gaps that can be fulfilled and what are the best practices that can be followed. Moving on, we had a national workshop on 1st July 2023, which saw participation of over 21 states and UTs, and where best practices again were shared with the states and UTs on various themes. In particular themes where the states are excelling, those states presented, and the other states had the option of asking questions and understanding more as to how they can adopt such practices onto their policies and guidelines. So there was also panel discussion where officials from central government, state government, financial institutions, and multilaterals were as panelists, and the topic was smart and eco-industrial parks and financing solutions. So the aim is to actually start a dialogue and let the other states and UTs which are suffering because of land size or due to their location not being that visible, how they can adopt certain practices which are essentially will lead them to have more business and can attract more investment into the state or the UT. So we also have a mobile app for which I'll be sharing links on the chat section in both Android and iOS version. And what we are the motive from these apps is to actually have a handy solution for all the investors or the companies who are looking for some easy and quick information about the industrial parks across the sectors or the places they are actually in right now. So I'll be sharing those, and your feedback is welcome. We are on our way of connecting with states and UTs again for the data sanitization workshop, so that this portal does not become the data that is with obsolete data. It keeps on updating and getting real-time data that it is actually known for. So this is the way ahead for us, and we'll be connecting separately also with all the states and UTs. And meanwhile, any suggestions, any ideas are welcome, and we'll be taking them up. Thank you so much.
So moving ahead, I would like to invite associate investor here for insight into various incentives and process of enabling schemes.
Very good afternoon, everyone. A very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Venkatesh Sani, and I'm part of Invest India. And today I'll be talking about a comparative analysis that we have done for Northern India. So today I'll be covering 4 states particularly. Those would be Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, and Himachal Pradesh. To further make it easy for you to understand, I've subcategorized these states in 4 categories, talking about MSME incentives, major infrastructure development, ease of doing business, and unique features. So let me just start talking with Punjab. Access to infrastructure. 100% exemption from electricity duty has been provided for 7 years, up to 100% of FCI, which is fixed capital incentive. Special incentives to border zones, border districts are also provided by the government, falling under 30 kilometers of international borders. 75% of net VAT or net SGST for 5 years for border districts are also provided. Additional state support are also provided under the schemes of credit guarantee, fund trust for micro and small enterprises. State also incentivizes audit of energy, water, safety to promote technology adoption by the MSME enterprises. State also allows setting up of design and brand promotion new facilities by the new manufacturing units at separate locations. Annual buyer and seller meets are also organized on the sidelines of vendor development programs by the state government, which not only helps the MSMEs, but also talk about the market linkages, the market trends, and economic scenarios that helps MSMEs grow. Freight assistance is also provided by the Punjab government. I'm so sorry. Freight assistance is also provided to the export-oriented units for 1% of the actual freight paid from the place of manufacture to the place of shipment. In West Punjab, Business First Portal has been initiated by the Punjab government to provide all regulatory services and fiscal incentives to the businesses through a common platform. It avoids supplying information to multiple portals and also creating multiple credentials. The state is also setting up industries and investment promotions in all districts for a wide range of services. MSME Punjab is a dedicated wing in Punjab which is focused on the development of MSMEs. It focuses on how can MSMEs enhance in the changed market in economic scenarios, flows of credit from financial institutions and banks, then talking about skill development and entrepreneurship, support for product development. A particular thing has been recently inaugurated by the Honorable CM of Punjab, which is categorized as the green color-coded stamp paper. After purchasing this particular stamp paper, industrialists have got all necessary clearances from the department within 17 days. It has the entire fees which has been paid to get the clearances. The major infrastructure developments which have been done in Punjab recently are categorized as Amritsar Kolkata Industrial Corridor, Chandigarh Amritsar Industrial Corridor, Chandigarh Hoshiarpur Industrial Corridor, and the key development corridors are also being set up at the major rivers in Punjab. Talking about Haryana, assistance to environment compliances are provided by 50% of financial support or maximum of 50 lakhs on the capital cost for setting up of effluent treatment plants and installation of air pollution control devices for the MSMEs. Employment generation subsidy is also provided to the persons holding the citizenship of Haryana with a subsidy of INR 48,000 per year to scheduled caste and women category. INR 36,000 is provided to the general category for 7 years in block B, C, and D. To further make it easy for you to understand, Haryana has 4 types of blocks. Block A is known as developed areas. Block B is known as intermediate developed areas. Block C, which is called as the backward areas, and Block D, which is called as the most backward areas. Price preference is also provided to the MSMEs, which receives several benefits, such as exemption from payment of tender fees, earnest money deposit, and etc. Rapid assessment test systems has also been initiated by the Haryana government. which not only focuses on online, but also offering feedback on the services that have been catered by the state government. It assesses the quality of services through the feedback which has been provided by the businesses. Self-certification for factories is another feature which is also being provided by the Haryana government, except those who are categorized as a high-risk business. Talking about e-Bhumi portal in Haryana, e-Bhumi portal or e-land portal is a portal that ensures transparency in the land deals in the state. It has been initially started for HSIDC, which is in Haryana. Government can sell land on this particular portal and also assist the landlords on the board on how they can sell the land to the state government. MSME advancements and nurturing support councils have been formulated, set it up to undertake promotion, facilitation, and development activities for the growth of MSMEs. DMCs have been categorized particularly as the district branches of directorates in each district that focuses on that provides technical expertise, clearances, support to the MSMEs, and also promotion of schemes in the state. Schemes such as PADMA, which is called as Program to Accelerate Development for MSMEs Advancements, have also been initiated. Business clearances have been provided at a day of 15 days, beyond which a provision of automated clearances would be provided on the HEPC portal of Haryana, which has categorized the no inspection for 3 years. Talking about Himachal Pradesh has emerged as the fastest growing states in ease of doing business and emerged as the leading edge state. Concessions to the tune of 50%, 60%, and 70% of a rate or premium fixed for land and industrial sheds in category A, B, and C blocks within 2 years. Reimbursement of 25% expenditure income for the purchase of plant and machinery for effluent treatment plants, rainwater harvesting solutions, and road constructions is being provided by the state government. Purchase preferences are also being provided in the state of Himachal Pradesh. State will give purchase preferences to the MSMEs by placing 25% of total order with them on the lowest government approved rates. Additional incentives and special schemes have also been categorized for the entrepreneurs for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, below poverty line families, women entrepreneurs, ex-servicemen, people with disabilities. Incentives to export-oriented units for promotion of export has been also been provided by the Himachal government, which not only covers the cost incurred for shipment of export samples, but also helps with the reimbursement of 50% cost of publishing export marketing material, brochures, and also helping with the trade fairs. Talking about Uttarakhand, DPR assistance has been provided to establish new micro enterprises within which 75% expenditure would be incurred in the form of fees, which would be reimbursed after commercial production. Quality certification, enterprises identified categories to establish as a state, obtaining national or international certificates would be reimbursed 75% of actual expenditure with a maximum cap of ₹1 lakh. Mandi fee reimbursement, a very unique feature which Uttarakhand government provides, with charged a purchase of raw material from the mandi located locally in the state for a maximum of 5 years for agriculture and horticulture based businesses focused towards the processing and enterprises. Setup of investment promotion and facilitation centers have been initiated by the Uttarakhand government. Talking about the Nivesh Mitra online portal, also called as the SWS portal, is a single window clearance system, and it is a two-level system that not only caters the industries can submit their application and response within 15 days. A deemed approval is given to the enterprises if no approval has been given to them within 15 days. Uttarakhand single window system is also introduced as common application form, which is also called as CALA, which is used for all clearances and approvals and also used as a grievance portal in the state of Uttarakhand. Thank you so much.
Hi, Malvika, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I start?
Yes, Agni, please. You may
All
go
right,
ahead.
thank you. Madam Joint Secretary, esteemed delegates of the PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and my dear colleagues at Invest India, very good afternoon to everyone here. My name is Agni Jasti, and I'll be presenting one of the Government of India's flagship digital initiatives in order to improve the ease of doing business in India, namely the National Single Window System. Now, to present a brief overview of the timeline of the National Single Window System. Uh, in the Union Budget of 2020-2021, the Honorable Finance Minister announced the setting up of a digital platform in order to provide information related to regulatory approvals required by businesses, as well as facilitate the granting of these approvals at the central and state level. Once that was done, under the guidance of DPIIT, Invest India has been the project management agency for this project. And a detailed project report as well as extensive legal research was conducted in order to identify the initial scope of the National Single Window System. The initial scope of the National Single Window System involved all approvals required in order to establish a business operation in India. Tata Consultancy Services, one of India's largest IT providers, was onboarded in order to build this platform in October of 2020. In 11 short months, this platform was developed and soft launched by the Honorable Commerce Minister with 12 central union ministries as well as six state governments integrated onto the platform. Included in these 6 state governments was the state government of Punjab and their state single window system. Post that, the National Single Window System, as it gained acceptance among the business community, also began including schemes and incentives that are provided by the Government of India. Examples of this are the registration for vehicle scrappage facilities, as well as the Ethanol 20 scheme, as well as schemes for solar PV modules that are to be manufactured in India. This was initiated around November 2021 and still continues as a critical vertical for the National Single Window System. In April of 2022, seeing the usage of the National Single Window System expanding, The decision was taken to expand the scope of the national single window system to also include renewals, amendments, and other compliance-related frameworks into the national single window system, thereby massively expanding the scope with which businesses can use the national single window system in order to simplify their business processes. In February 2023 of this year, the national single window system was again found relation to the union budget of 2023, where the permanent account number was announced as the single business identifier for all businesses that are established or operating within India. This will help the national single window system identify businesses across various central government ministries and departments, thereby allowing for smoother processing of interministerial applications, such as that of foreign direct investment. Further on, the scope of the national single window system will shortly also include the PM Gati Shakti program, as well as the NOCs that are required in order to implement that program. A quick snapshot of the ecosystem that the NSWS operates within. Primarily, we have the central ministries and departments, the union ministries and departments that currently provide business approvals, licenses, and clearances to businesses in India, which forms the second part, which are the G2B services processes and regulatory filings that are required by each and every business to operate in India. This further connects us to the entrepreneurs and industry that is currently using our system. And in order to provide the best possible benefits through the NSWS to entrepreneurs and industry, we have been reaching out extensively and taking feedback from industry associations such as CII, FICCI, PHDCCI, NASSCOM, and ASSOCHAM. In addition to this, another crucial vertical for the national single window system is to bring on the state level approvals and clearances that are required in order to conduct business in India. For this, the national single window system has been systematically integrating with state single window systems wherever present of different states as well as union territories. For the specific context of this meeting, the state single window systems of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and Uttarakhand are currently integrated into the national single window system, and their services are currently available on the NSWS. In addition to this, we will also shortly be onboarding the states and the approvals for Chandigarh as well, in order to further expand the scope and make it more usable for businesses in the region. Just to revisit the scope of the national single window system, we primarily see the scope of the national single window system across three primary verticals. The first is the people. Now, in order to bring on board 32 central ministries and 36 states and union territories onto the national single window system, Invest India, under the guidance of DPIIT, has conducted extensive interactions and consultations with more than 100 senior level government officers and more than 1,000 stakeholders in their subordinate offices in order to onboard about 275 central processes onto the national single window system so far. This has involved two-way interaction with the government and the officers within government that process these applications, as well as with industry and the businesses that submit applications for these approvals. This process has allowed us to better understand the issues that are faced by both government as well as businesses when it comes to processing these applications. And we are iteratively trying to resolve these issues on both ends in order to create a more conducive environment for business in the country. That brings me to the next point and our broad category, which is technology. Now, in order to build the NSWS, we were required to integrate more than 75 central and state web platforms that are currently providing these licenses and approvals to businesses in India. This has been an extensive technical exercise, and we were able to leverage the power of API integration in order to bring all of these services onto one single platform. Not only were we able to bring all of these services onto one single platform, but we were able to manage the end-to-end life cycle of these processes by expanding the scope of the national single window system to not only include that initial application that you submit to a government authority, but also a renewal or amendment that might be required in the future as and when your business expands and grows. Finally, the technology ultimately leads to the processes that we were able to integrate, including all the state level approvals that have been integrated through the 24 state governments that are currently onboarded on the national single window system. There are more than 3,500 government to business services that are currently available for businesses to avail on the national single window system. This includes the entire spectrum of government to business processes like approvals, schemes, registrations, NOCs, amendments, and renewals. And the scope and availability of services in the national single window system is constantly increasing week by week. Further, Bringing all these processes onto the national single window system has also allowed us to create a closed feedback loop within the national single window system where government and industry can constantly interact in order to optimize these processes, in order to streamline them and expedite the timelines under which they are given. As usage of the national single window system as of August 2023, from the graph that is present on the left side of the screen over here, delegates might be able to see that we started hitting our critical influx around October 2022, which is about exactly a year ago when we were at about 54,000 approvals. Since then, the NSWS has seen a rapid increase in usage. And another critical observation that can be gauged from this graph present on the left over here is that the blue line, which is the number of approvals and services that are granted through the national single window system, and the orange line, which is the number of active businesses that are using the national single window system, start converging. This essentially is because businesses have started finding value in the national single window system and have begun using the system to apply for more than one approval or license through the NSWS, effectively bringing their entire G2B interaction and their regulatory compliance onto the national single window system through its unified digital interface. Some very quick numbers: 32 central ministries and 22 state single window systems have been integrated. 2.5 lakh people have used a module called the Know Your Approvals module, which is a first of its kind investor-friendly module that was introduced on the national single window system. Many businesses, through our industry interactions, we have found out that many businesses were unable to find exactly which approvals they require in order to establish or operate their business. Excuse me. So the KYA module was developed with extensive consultation across state and central governments. The KYA is nothing but an intelligent information wizard where any user can enter the details of their project or their business, and accordingly the system will help them identify which approvals or licenses at the central and state level they will require in order to be completely compliant with the laws of India. Further, more than 1 lakh businesses have created their profiles and are actively using the national single window system. And so far, more than 3 lakh applications have been granted and more than 2 lakh have been submitted. This is as of August 2023. And currently the numbers have increased further. Further, the NSWS has redressed more than 63,000 investor grievances where there were either delays or technical issues with respect to their application submission or their application grant through a unified grievance redressal mechanism that operates across 32 central ministries. Now the value of the national single window system. To spend a couple of minutes on the value of the national single window system, I would like to draw a picture between how the business ecosystem in India operated pre-single window and how we envision it to operate post-single window. Pre-single window, there were multiple sources of information across various government departments as well as state departments. By carrying out these extensive consultation sessions with all of these critical stakeholders, we were able to consolidate all of this information into the Know Your Approvals module so that all investors, regardless of their location within the country and their state, as well as their sector and business activity, are able to get exactly the information that is tailored to their business requirements. The second advantage is that prior to the national single window system, every business would have to interact with multiple digital interfaces or in-person interfaces in order to submit each and every application. If you establishing your business required 12 applications for 12 licenses, then you might have had to submit them through 6 different online portals as well as 6 different physical offices. Through the national single window system, we are bringing all of those application submission points onto one single unified digital submission point. The third point relates very closely to the second, which is divergent application status tracking. Pre-single window, you would have to, after submitting your application at these different application points, you would also have to track them across their life cycles across these different submission points. By bringing in a unified status tracking mechanism onto the single window, we're allowing businesses to track their application status, regardless of whether it's from the Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Civil Aviation, on one single uniform dashboard so that you're able to get a comprehensive picture of where exactly your applications currently lie and when you can expect them. The fourth and important benefit of the National Single Window System is the duplication of information and effort. Through an extensive study of all the application forms across central and state levels, we realized that at least 30 to 40% of the information that is filled across application forms is duplicated across these application forms. By creating an autofill mechanism as well as a common application form, which has since then been replicated by multiple state single window systems as well, we are able to reduce the duplicate information that has to be filled in by each and every business when they are applying for various government clearances. Now, to again provide a very quick snapshot and conclusion of the National Single Window System, we are planning to use it as an accelerator for the ease of doing business in India. There are 5 critical components to using this as an accelerator for improving the ease of doing business. The first one I've already touched upon, which is a single interface for businesses. There are multiple benefits which come with it, including submission as well as tracking at one single point. The second is information symmetry and transparency. Regardless of the size of your organization and your business, you have access to the same level of information that has been vetted by central ministries and state governments, which will help you make better decisions when it comes to complying with the regulatory burden that your organization might have. The third is a very important point, which is the centralized grievance redressal. Prior to the National Single Window System, if you had grievances with relation to any licenses or approvals that you are trying to acquire, then if there were any grievances with regard to it, you would have to reach out to different authorities across the spectrum in order to get your grievances resolved. By centralizing the grievance redressal mechanism for all 275 central approvals as well as state government related issues, we are able to provide applicants or investors and businesses a single point where they can address their grievances across multiple ministries, and then our team takes on the onus of interacting with these central ministries and departments in order to get these grievances resolved. Multiple businesses have found an extraordinary amount of value in the centralized grievance redressal system, and we are constantly bolstering it day by day to provide even more value through this grievance redressal mechanism. The fourth point is database decision making. In a world where we are increasingly depending on data in order to understand different complex problems, the various amount of data that we are able to gauge through the National Single Window System can help policymakers in creating more optimized and streamlined processes for regulation of businesses. The fifth is a technology accelerator. Multiple times through the last 3 to 4 years, we have come across multiple ministries and departments that had an urgent need to bring forth schemes such as the leather scheme by DPIIT or the ethanol policy by the Ministry of Department for Food and Public Distribution. By building the National Single Window System in an extremely modular architecture, we are able to bring these schemes and policy incentives from the government to businesses in a much more expedited manner, helping with the dispersal of funds to the businesses that need it the most by bringing them through the National Single Window System. This allows ministries to forego the effort of creating an RFP and developing a whole new portal in order to bring forth any investor or business friendly scheme to the people of India. That brings me to the end of my presentation. I hope everyone found it very useful. You can contact the National Single Window System team at the email ID given below. And you can also take my phone number from the delegates from Invest India that are present at the meeting. Thank you very much.
This is very important for the ease of doing business in India and providing great response to the stakeholders. So, I would like to invite Dr. Surabhi Gupta, Senior Manager Invest India, for providing presentation on Startup India, government initiatives for startups and enterprises. Dr. Surabhi.
Thank you, sir. I hope my presentation is visible to all. A very good afternoon, everyone. It is a privilege to be here and be sharing the stage virtually with the esteemed dignitaries and talking about a very timely and relevant topic. In the next 10 minutes, I will cover broadly about what is the startup culture in India, what exactly is a startup, how government initiatives have been facilitating and supporting startups, a case study on space technology in startups and how it is changing the world. Lastly, the startups and the ecosystem in various states, including Punjab and also national ecosystem. So what are a startup? every ministry at the central government as well as state government in various UTs and states are working with the startup ecosystem. But besides that, there is always a need to identify the key elements of a startup. With the mission and vision of Honorable Prime Minister, the new India is revolving into a nation fueled with innovation, enthusiasm, and entrepreneurial spirit. With that, we get our first keyword to identify a startup, which is innovation. One of the examples that I would want to share here about innovation is our 100 unicorn, which was established in 2022. Open Bank. Open Bank, it offers a platform for neobanking that integrates all the tools used by small businesses and integrates it with the business's current accounts, thereby creating ripples of innovation and new technology in India. The second aspect that we look for in a startup is the scalability. And it cannot be a better example than quoting about Lenskart. Lenskart, before Lenskart, we had to visit an optician differently to get our numbers for the spectacles. And then we used to go to a spectacles store to get our spectacles made. Now, cut to Lenskart, the entire experience of buying spectacles have been revolutionized. There is the convenience of access at the click of the buttons, not only at the store, but also from your homes, with a variety of designs to choose at an affordable pricing. Lenskart has been growing leaps and bounds and have also entered both tier 2 and tier 3 cities. A perfect example of scalability. The third key and key ingredient of a startup is employment generation. I would like to quote here about Urban Company, which has emerged as a job creator rather than only a job seeker. It is providing employment opportunities to over 45,000 partners spread across 63 cities globally and 54 cities in India. This unicorn is also upskilling people for employment in both tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Lastly, the startup should also work towards revenue and wealth creation. Zerodha is a perfect example for a new age customer focused financial technology business here that has bootstrapped its journey towards a positive revenue generation. As of last financial year, Zerodha generated revenue of touching 5,000 crores with a reported profit of around over 2,000 crores. So we see how together with innovation, scalability, employment generation, and wealth generation forms the backbone for a startup of an ecosystem. With that, I would like to introduce everyone to Startup India, an initiative by Government of India to catalyze startup culture and build a strong and inclusive ecosystem for entrepreneurship in the country, which was launched 7 years back on 16th January 2016 with a mission and vision to support startups and entrepreneurs in the country by our Honorable Prime Minister. Startup India initiative works towards 19 action points spanning across 3 major pillars: simplification and hand-holding, funding support and incentives, and industry academia partnership and incubation. Startup India and the team has been under the aegis of Joint Secretary Ma'am Manmeet Nanda. We have been working relentlessly with startups and budding entrepreneurs over the years to identify the needs to foster an ecosystem and coming up with plethora of innovative ideas that could drive and support startups. India today hosts the 3rd largest ecosystem for startups globally. Besides that, like ma'am mentioned, we have over 100 unicorns in the country, which makes us the third largest unicorn nation globally. Besides that, we have been able to also retain our 40th innovation index position even this year. As a testament to the miles that we have reached by our domestic ecosystem, India has been very proud to share that Startup 20, a group created under India's G20 presidency, was accepted and will be going forward under G20 track. Additionally, after hosting multiple negotiations and rounds for Shanghai Cooperation Organization Startup Forum, India has also become the chair for Special Working Group on Startups and Innovations at SCO. Now, some of the engagements and initiatives that Startup India has been providing for startups are, firstly, the focus has been on overall extensive support to the startup ecosystem across various support pillars, including 57 regulatory reforms that have been made to ease procurement, funding, and tax exemptions, to name a few exemptions for the startups and the budding entrepreneurs in the country. Besides that, there has been partnerships with central ministries, international government bodies, corporate states, and union territories extensively to reform and design programs that will support partners. Lastly, there is an end-to-end handholding support for the startups that also provide funding opportunities, including seed fund scheme, funds of funds scheme, credit guarantee scheme, and also connect with investors through Investor Connect portal for the startups. Further, a few new marquee programs, and I'll be available both offline and online to share more details here and discuss them in detail later. That includes Startup Innovation Week, National Startup Awards, Startup Yatra, and state ranking framework to support the startups. Besides this, there has been a national focus also to come up with dedicated policies and initiatives across various stages, sectors, and geographies to support startups. For example, the Airport Authority of India had set up a startup policy in 2018 for nurturing innovations and leading to efficient airport and better passenger experience. BIRAC, under the aegis of DBT, had launched BioNest, focusing on creating bio incubators at strategic locations to provide connections to the startups. Department of Animal Husbandry has conducted various innovation challenges in collaboration with Startup India to support the winning startups and help them grow in the sector relating to animal husbandry and dairy. Lastly, there has been an initiative to provide market access opportunities for the startups and for the same, and to ease public procurement and provide visibility for the startups. Startup India started with government e-marketplace runway show. So it's GEM Startup Runway Show, which is a dedicated corner for startups to sell their products and services to the government. All of this has been the initiatives, both private and public, have shaped up the growth of startups in less than a decade. And this is visible through various case studies of the startups that have been piloting and pivoting so well. One of the examples is Skyroad Aerospace, a Hyderabad-based startup that came out in 2015. Pawan Chandana is the founder for the same and has been one of the winners of our National Startup Awards as well. Signed an MOU with ISRO to develop launch vehicles back in 2019, 1 year from their launch year, and also received initial round of funding and support from ISRO, DRTO, DST, as well as DPIIT through National Startup Award hand-holding plan. And today, very recently, they were able to launch and complete their full test firing of Vikram 1 rocket and became the first private Indian company to do so. They are now, after the success of Chandrayaan, also piloting into the same industry and want to be the private company that takes over into the same domain. My last two slides will focus upon the initiatives and the role that states have been playing. Startup successes also require correct interventions and avenues from state governments, for which we have 31 states and unions that have launched their focused policies to support startups and innovations, including Punjab. And the key areas and collaboration that Startup India has been supporting the states in hand-holding for these policies and also coming up with the programs include the advisory support for these policies, encouraging and enabling creation of nodal teams, and separate bodies for startup activities, capacity building of officers and nodal teams through initiatives like state ranking framework, also enabling API integration of the states. Lastly, a very active outreach and awareness support dedicated especially for also strategic interventions such as women participation in startups and also tier 2, tier 3 startups coming up. Lastly, Indian startup ecosystem, being the third largest ecosystem, is now also marching on to take up partnerships with other countries, both at the level of providing market access opportunities to these startups and also mentoring other countries to develop a startup ecosystem. And in this regards, we today have dedicated startup bridges, which act as a soft landing platform for the startups and ecosystem of both the countries to exchange ideas, to come up with dedicated policies, to also co-collaborate on various startup initiatives and programs. We have 20 such startup bridges. Besides that, we are also very actively working with other international engagements, even without the bridges, with the like of USA, Germany, Denmark, France, to name a few. As I have already mentioned, there are various multilateral engagements as well, wherein India is positioning itself as a global leader when it comes to startups, such as Startup 20, BRICS, SEO, ASEAN, and VIPA. With this, I thank everyone for attending this session, and I hope we all can drive the utmost value towards innovation with a deeper understanding of the startup ecosystem. Thank you, and I am available both online and offline for discussion about any of the initiatives that I spoke about in detail. Thank you so much once again for your time.
Take some questions from the audience. So the floor is open for 3 more minutes because we have 40 of friends, so you can come up with your questions to that. Any questions related to the recent presentation? Yes. Yeah, please come. Yes.
बैंक का Roadshow भी कर रहा है तो उससे नहीं आता सामान मिलती है तो वहाँ पे ऑल मैन्युफैक्चरर्स एंड सर्विस प्रोवाइडर काम जाके अपनी grievances को resolve कर सकते हैं इसलिए necessary एकदम ट्रेडर्स को मतलब अलाउ नहीं
Thank you very much. So now we invite Mr. Sultan Kalina, who is your Chilean secretary.
Thank you. It's already been a very long afternoon, so I won't take much time. I would really like to thank Ms. Manmeet K. Nanda, Joint Secretary TPI IT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Ma'am, it's actually been a pleasure having you over, and with such simplicity, and you explained everything, even using the words like jugaad, which was fantastic. And these simple terms are actually, much easier to understand. So thank you so much, ma'am. I would also like to thank the entire team of Invest India, Mr. Utsav Negi, Assistant Vice President, Ms. Sheena, Mr. Venkatesh, Mr. Agni, Ms. Varnika. Then, of course, I would like to thank our eminent speakers, Dr. Manish Jindal, Shri Shiv Sunit Shukla, Mr. Sumit Khajuria. I would also like to thank our Chair of Punjab, Shri R.S. Devaji, and Dr. S.P. Sharma, Chief Economist from our head office, PhD. Lastly, I would like to thank all the eminent dignitaries on the floor, friends from the media. It's been a pleasure having you all over here. It's been a long 2.5 hours already. So we are indeed honored and privileged to have you all. And this is the of the series. This is the second one, and I'm sure we're going to have many more. Dr. Sharma would have more details on it. So thank you so much. I would not take too much time, and I would request you all to kindly join us for lunch. Thank you. Thank you. We go on and move on and have so many plans for the India. Organizing programs. Just also learn where we have plans to. So this will continue and we look forward to it and we are looking at the thinking of the coming more and it is still to become thank you very much and we thank you to join us for so a little bit more once again.
Just request all delegates to please come and we are going to provide the suggestions. Thank you. Sorry, I actually cut you off. No, no, no. So, my body is completely understand. Yes, sir. This is schoolroom. Would you like some pictures? Congrats. That was really good. On your system, maybe. Yeah. I'll just
Save this file.
log out. Did he?
It was too much of a ask.
All the online participants, thank you for joining. We'll be closing the session here. Thank you.